friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. I can't believe another month has come and gone. Like, where did November go? I feel like it was just the other day that it was November 1st and I was decorating for Christmas. How is it already over? Today's video is going to be chatting about all of the things that I loved the most in the month of November. I have makeup, very eyeshadow heavy. Very good releases last month. Very eyeshadow heavy. I have some other makeup items as well. I have some clothing. I have some books. I have a movie. I have a various allotment of things, and I'm excited to share them with you. I always love doing these videos. It's a fun way for me to kind of gather my thoughts, really reflect on the things that I loved the most, and share them with you. And I love hearing your thoughts as well, whether you loved the same things I loved. I like hearing what you were loving. So please, as always, leave them in the comments below. What makeup you were loving, skincare, TV shows, books, something you did. I would love to just know your favorite things from November. Before we hop into it, I did of course film this look. It should already be up on my channel by the time this video goes up. It's from just like a recent little get ready with me. It should be just a couple videos back. Go check that out if you're interested. Also, as far as my accessories today go, this is just an old basic choker. I don't know where it's from. This is a Neff brand beanie, and this is a crew neck from the brand Book Babe Designs, which I may be talking about more later, so I'll get into it. Also, this is just an Amazon wig. So without further ado, let's just hop in and chat about my November favorites. All right, first things first, let's just talk about a makeup tool. This is very random, but it literally has become one of my new favorite ways of applying makeup. A powder puff to use instead of a brush for setting my face. This one's from Unearthly specifically. It's very cute. It's just like a squishy, velvety, like this texture specifically is really, really soft. And I love setting my under eyes and my whole face really with a powder puff. I've never been a powder puff person. It's not that I wasn't, I just never really used it. It just wasn't a medium that I worked with, but I really like this. I am a powder puff girly now. I feel like it applies everything so velvety smooth. It doesn't make me look cakey. I feel like I don't over apply powder either. I love this. I love this so much. Next up, before we get into the mountain of eyeshadow that's in front of me, I did want to shout out the Lost Library lipsticks from Fantasy Cosmetica. The singles are beautiful as well, don't get me wrong, but I've used the lipsticks quite a few times now and I really like them. Specifically today, I'm wearing the shade Buried. I think it's really pretty. I think Hidden is gonna become like my main go-to. It's just a really pretty soft neutral. But there's really cool shades. There's multiple shades of red, there's a blue, there's a swampy green. There's really cool colors in here. They're really creamy, they're really pigmented. I feel like they last really nicely. So I wanted to shout these out because they're a new product from the brand. I feel like I have no choice but to talk about this cheek palette. This is the Cozy Up cheek palette from Simply Posh Cosmetics. It's really, really pretty, and I've worn this like every single day ever since I got it like 3 to 4 weeks ago. We have 4 highlighters, 4 blushes. I only can't use this one, but the other 3 work great for me. We have everything from a bright white to a soft pink, which is my highlighter today, to a really pretty soft gold. I wear all 4 of these blushes. They're so pretty. I'm wearing the baby pink one today, kind of focused here and a little bit out here, just a really soft amount. But I think this is really nice. I think the blushes have really nice pigmentation, but you can also build them up slowly if you only want a little bit of it. I feel like they allow my glowy products to shine through even though they are a matte blush. And the highlighter is beautiful. I feel like it has a really nice beam to it without it being chunky glitter, and I do like a glittery highlight. Don't get me wrong, but it is also nice to have just a really bright but smooth highlighter. I think this is a great palette. And now I love the eyeshadow palette the brand came out with too alongside of that, but I wasn't about to talk about like 100 eyeshadow palettes in this video, so I really had to try to narrow it down, and it was really hard. These aren't in any particular order. My ranking will be up at some point that features most of these palettes. 2 of them were already talked about in a recent ranking, but the other ones I will get to in an upcoming ranking. One of which is the Bejeweled palette from Bella Beauty Bar. Beautiful, rich jewel tone mattes, and then delicious, shifty, yummy shimmers, all just that delicious, like, vivid, grungy jewel tone. It's just, oh, it's everything to me. I love Bella Beauty Bar. They're one of my favorite brands, and I'm super excited about this release. I think it's gorgeous. Next up, this was a recent launch as well. This is the Lands of Enchantment from Ensley Rain. I'm so impressed with this palette, you guys. It's so stinking cute. By the way, both of the palettes I've talked about so far, every palette I talk about today actually will already have looks on Instagram and YouTube and all over the place, so you can go check those out. But this one is just such a beautiful, like, winter wonderland. We have pastels all the way to like deeper tones. We have lots of beautiful shifty shimmers in here. This is a more pricey brand. I totally understand that, but I'm loving them. I think this is such a beautiful palette, a beautiful formula. These colors are screaming to my soul. I think if I had to pick a favorite from Ensley Rain so far, it would still be the Harvest Moon because I just love those tones. But this might be a close second because it's just outstanding. It's so pretty. I've loved playing with this one. It's gorgeous. Next up, I am so in love with this one. It's the Christmas Town palette from Melt. So cute. I was in love with the Halloween Town palette and I'm so happy they came out with a Christmas Town extension to the Nightmare Before Christmas launch. It's so pretty. Look how gorgeous. So cute. I love the reds, the rich purples, and then the greens. I like that there's like a grungy green into like a darker green. I think these toppers are all so pretty, and I like this rich metallic purple. This makes me really happy. Honestly, I want them to start including like these beautiful like wet looking toppers in every palette because I think they're stunning. And last, I did want to shout out the Christmas palettes from Odin's Eye. I personally love these. I'm so happy they launched these and re-released the palettes from last year as well. So 4 Christmassy palettes. It's a fun time. The Hey Reindeer is a cute, colorful, fun vibe. I think you can do a lot with it. I think it's creative and interesting. You can like really break this up into fun, different little quads, and the shimmers are gorgeous. I love Odin's Eye, and this one's so fun. And then the Snow Dream. These are our traditional Christmas colors here. We got mixtures of like greens, reds. We have like the sparkly shades. I like these bronzy neutrals with it, and I don't usually go for neutrals very often, but I think it all plays together really cohesively. This one, I feel like you are gonna have a harder time doing things that aren't in your face Christmas, but if you're looking for that, I think this is a really fun one. Moving on, I have to shout out some clothing that I got from the brand Book Babe Designs. I highly recommend checking them out on Instagram if you're interested in this very fun, unique, bookish merch. She draws all the designs herself. I love the embroidery, but she came out with a holiday launch. Unfortunately, it's not available anymore, and I hate talking about it in a favorites video when it's not available, but this is just to further encourage you to follow the brand for future launches if this does appeal to you. She did a really cool, like, spooky autumnal bookish launch that I loved. I picked up multiple pieces from that, and then when she was announcing that she was doing a holiday one, I was right on top of it. So this is one of the ones she came out with. I just love the book with the little mushrooms and then the Christmas trees and the snow. I think it's so pretty. I even love it with this shade of blue, and this isn't a color that I wear like as clothing very often, but it's so nice, and I think the quality's good. I personally bought a large because I wanted it to be really big and baggy. I've bought larges for all my crew necks from her just because I like the very oversized fit. But yeah, this is so cozy. I could live in this. I think it's so good. And then the other one, she actually launched this next one in 3 different colors. She did like a neutral, I think a green, and then the one that I got, which is this cutie. This like pepperminty color scheme. I love. We have like this baby pink with the gingerbread house on a book, the red and white, all pepperminty colors. This fuels my soul. This makes me so happy. I'm a peppermint maniac in the winter, so this just reflects my insides right now. I think it's so stinking cute, and I had no choice but to shout these out. Again, if you are interested in like really unique bookish merch that's really like well done, I would recommend checking out her brand for future launches. I really hope she does like a Valentine's launch. I'd love to see everything. I want her to do everything. Like do a launch every like 3 months, please and thank you. I'd be so happy. Moving on to books, as always, I'm not gonna drone on and on about like tons of books because my reading wrap up, Get Ready With Me, will be up very soon, potentially the video after this one for all I know. I don't know the exact order of my uploads off the top of my head, but my reading wrap up, Get Ready With Me, where I talk about all of the books I read in November, will be up very soon. But I do want to shout out 2 of them because I did have 2 5-star reads thus far. There's still a little bit left in November as I'm filming this, so who knows, I might have another 5-star read. But as of this moment, these were my 5-star reads for November, and I love them so much. First being Iron Flame from Rebecca Yarros. This is the sequel to Fourth Wing, which I read back in October and I loved it. That was also 5 stars for me, and this was a great sequel. I can't wait to see what is next in this world. It's such a cool world. We have lots of high stakes. There's dragons and war and fighting, and there's a love interest, and it's just, oh, it's so good. It's a thick boy. It is a big book, and it is so fun. I love this world. I feel so captivated by it. I just cannot wait to see what's next. And on a lighter note, 7 Year Slip by Ashley Poston. Completely different vibe, not a fantasy at all. Although there is a little bit of time travel involved. So I guess like magical, but not like anything like Iron Flame. This is actually the same author that wrote Dead Romantics, which I loved quite a few months ago. Just like a beautiful masterpiece of a like ghost writer who can see ghosts, some romance involved. It was beautiful. This is her most recent book, The 7 Year Slip. This is about our main character, what's her name? Clementine. She inherits her aunt's apartment who passed away recently. She's super upset about it because she was so close with her aunt. And her aunt always said that her house was like magical, where sometimes like it changes time periods and different things sort of happen. So what happens is one night she's in the apartment, and while she's in there, it does this little time slip thing where suddenly she's in the apartment 7 years prior. Not the whole world, just within those walls of the apartment. And then in this 7 year slip, she meets this guy who happens to be staying at his aunt's apartment from 7 years ago. So she's kind of like crossing paths with that. She's meeting this guy as she leaves the walls, and not even every night, so to speak. The apartment kind of decides when she gets to see him. She runs into him again in the real world, which it's 7 years later for him, even though it's like right now for her. It's kind of confusing to explain, but it really didn't like come across as confusing in the book. Like I had a few questions in the beginning when things were starting to happen, but it all like comes together and answers itself. It was such a cool read, with it being very like time period separation coming together. It's like such a unique story, and I loved every second of it. I felt so happy when I was done reading it. I feel like it deals with the topics of grief really well, and overall this was just such a great book. What a beautiful book. I love Ashley Poston's writing. I can't wait to see what more she comes out with in the future, because so far both of the books I read from her have been like top tier amazing books for me. And I think my last thing I wanted to shout out was the new The Marvels movie. It's the newest Marvel movie. We have the characters Captain Marvel, who's Carol Danvers. We have Monica, who Carol knew from back in the day, but she's all grown up now. And Miss Marvel from the Miss Marvel show on Disney+, Kamala Khan. It is such a cool story about the three of them all coming together. Their powers are kind of all interconnected. Kamala is like already the biggest fangirl of Captain Marvel. So like when they get to like meet, I feel like she holds that energy so well. It was funny. There were so many funny moments in the movie that were having me laugh so hard. I feel like it was just the perfect time frame. Like it wasn't like a 3-hour long movie. It was like a perfect like hour and 45 minutes. I love the way they all interacted together and just the way the world was expanding and stuff. It was such a cool movie. I am a big Marvel fan, and I thought this movie was so fun. Honestly, probably one of my favorites in a while. I just thought all the characters were so good together. I love the weird alien cat thing. I love everything. It was such a great movie, and if you're into Marvel at all, I highly recommend it. And then side note, if you never watched the Miss Marvel show, I think that's a really cute one. It's a really fun kind of teenager who loves superheroes and discovers she has powers herself. It's a cool story. So that's kind of where I want to leave that. And that, I think, wraps it up for my November favorites. I'm super excited that we're entering December, but I am getting kind of sad that the year's almost over. I can't believe we're like already ending another year. Again, I would love to hear what your favorite things were from November. If you have favorite like movies, shows, music, makeup, anything, food, leave your favorites from November down below. If you made it to the end of this video, leave your current favorite emojis. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm battybean there as well. If you're not already, you can subscribe. I'm posting most days here as well. Also, feel free to join my channel memberships. Link to sign up will be down below. You'll get fun little perks, including a members only get ready with me once a month. And now is always a great time to start, because this is right around the time where I'm going to be asking my members what they want to see. They're going to vote on it, all that good stuff. So it's a great time to start. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.